Hi, I'm Michael Molenda, Editor-in-Chief of Guitar Player Magazine, and I'm here at the fabulous center staging facility in Burbank, California to test 3 new Boss Waza Craft pedals. What's Waza Craft? Well, I'm glad you asked that. Well, Waza in Japanese stands for art and technique. And what the Boss engineers did, and these guys have made some pretty amazing pedals throughout the years, is look inward at what they've done and try to figure out, okay, so for now, how can we mod the pedals that we have, make them more relevant, more ballsy, more cool for players today, while still allowing players to access the great tones that they've fallen in love with in the past. So now we're looking at 2 extremely beloved and renowned Boss pedals, and 1 pedal that you haven't been able to get your hands on for a long, long time. And these 3 pedals have been Waza Craft, and now they're available, and I'm going to show you how these things sound. So let's look at the Blues Driver SD-1W, which is Waza crafted. And the basic sound for this pedal is the same as any blues driver that you've ever heard, that you've fallen in love with. That's kind of been the sound that you've heard in recording studios and live stages and in bedrooms and garages forever. So that's awesome, you know that. There's also a custom switch that expands the sound, makes it a little funkier, a little bolder, a little more expansive, and well, I'll just shut up. Let's just see. Right here is the standard sound that you've always heard from a blues driver. Now let's check out the custom sound. So as you can hear, you hit custom and it's like bolder, hits you more in the chest a little bit. You don't lose the articulation of the mid, so you can still cut through a mix, but you just kind of get more of a world of sound around you. It's kind of like an awesomer switch, so I want to call it the awesome switch. It's just more awesome. Let's look at the Super OverDrive now, the SD-1W Waza Craft. And like the blues driver, when you're in standard mode, you get the same sound that you've loved forever. It's probably been on your pedal board or in your studio, so you know what that sounds like. It's awesome. But when you go to custom mode, you start to get a ballsier, more aggressive, there's just a certain thuddiness to it that expands on the standard Super OverDrive sound. And also, there's a little more drive available on this pedal when you go to custom mode. So not only do you get the tonal shift, which is more of kind of a punch in the face or a slap in the face, however you want to put it, but you also get the opportunity to get a little more singing sustain and things like that. So first, let's look at the standard mode with just, you know, kind of a mid. Well, the overdrive's at about 1 o'clock, okay? Or the drive. Okay, so you all know that sound. And here's the custom. So nice little low end and nice little chunk. That's the custom sound. Now let's kind of perk up the drive a little bit, because on this pedal, when you're in custom mode, you do get more drive than in standard mode. Nice, huh? Okay, not to take anything from the Waza Craft Super OverDrive or the Blues Driver, because those are completely bitchin' pedals. But the next pedal in the Waza Craft line is something that we haven't been able to get since 1984. It's been gone, and that's the SD-1W Waza Craft, which is the analog delay that was pretty much all over the place in the 80s. And, well, if you want one now, you got to go to eBay or you got to search music stores, and it's not going to be a cheap pedal, let's put it this way. But thanks to the engineers at Boss, they brought it back for us, and they brought it back for us with a couple of cool things added. In standard mode, you're going to get that same 80s rich, sexy analog delay that you would have experienced, many years ago. But when you go into custom mode, a couple of things happen. The delay time is doubled, so that's nice. You also have an expression pedal input, which means that you can futz around with delay times and do some modulation effects and some weird wee-oo type effects, which is also nice. And finally, you've got direct out, which means that you can run a wet and dry signal to either to two different amps, so you can have kind of an expansive sound on stage. You can obviously put it into two different channels if you're recording and have some nice stereo effects there, dry and delay. Or you can actually build the dry and delay sound as kind of a texture and kind of mix between the both. So that's a lot of firepower in one little delay pedal. And when I had one of these back in the 80s, and my mind was blown by the Edge and U2 with how they approached delay, not only as a nice effect for the guitar, but as something to create a sonic landscape that could be both haunting and feral at the same time. It was like, wow, we just plugged into this and kind of made our own movie soundtracks, kind of. So we would do things like this because it was fun. Sorry about that. I kind of got seduced by the standard sound. It kind of reminded me of my misspent youth. But the custom sound on this doubles the delay sound, it doubles the delay time, and it also adds a bit of an analog tapey sound to the repeats, which is nice. And what I kind of like to use that for are these kind of Robert Fripp, Andy Summers type lines where the delay is long enough to where it kind of almost folds back on itself. So you get this kind of stuff. Now it's subtle, but on the decay there, you can kind of see the benefit of kind of getting that analog tape sound because it kind of widens itself out from the fundamental note, and you kind of get a nice little space there between the note that you pick and the note that comes back. So even if you're playing something fast or something like I played that's kind of like just a dut, 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 you can always kind of hear the delay behind it. So once again, how awesome to get a pedal that has not been around since 1984. It's back, and not only is it back, but you can use an expression pedal, you get a direct out, and you get more delay time, and with a nice little analog tape sound. I mean, that has got it. Well, it just takes the cake. Waza. Oh, wait, I forgot something. The expression pedal. I probably chickened out on it because I'm not the best guy to show you a conventional use of an expression pedal for this delay, which is basically to change the delay times. But one thing that I love being able to plug an expression pedal into the DM2W is that if a film guy says, hey, I need something for aliens attacking the White House, or you've got a dance track and you need just that kind of sound to get people moving, well, I go, okay, let me plug an expression pedal into this, and here's what we get. I mean, come on, how cool is that?